Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. My name is Whitney Lucas. I'm with Crafty Thoughts and Whatnots, and today's video I'm making towards the end of the school year. Now I'm making a teacher's appreciation gift. Now what's happening here in Las Vegas where I live is kids are going to get out of school in about a week and a half, week and a half. Everyone out here gets out of school like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So a lot of the kids are, everything's winding down. They're bringing a lot of things home, and it's now that time of year where the kids are going to give gifts to their teachers. Mainly elementary school children will bring in a bigger gift. I remember bringing those in when I was a kid to my teachers that particularly left an impact on me, the ones I really, really liked. And this year, I thought it'd be really easy, instead of going out and buying some goodies, to maybe give the teacher a homemade item. Now, a lot of times they're going to know the kid didn't make it, or if you have children that are of age, you got to use a hot glue gun. So if the glue gun's of age and they're not going to burn themselves, then sure, go ahead and invite them in. I don't have any kids myself, but I do know a lot of people with them, and I thought it'd be really fun and interesting. I had a couple ideas to just kind of throw something together, like a small arrangement, because I know most teachers would really, really like. Now, of course, this is just it'll be a floral arrangement. I have a couple apples I'm going to place in there, and some fun little pieces that I thought I'd put together. We'll see how it turns out. And I wanted to just show you guys what my idea was, and then if there's anyone else out there that was maybe having a hard time, maybe struggling with an idea or with a feasible way of doing it, I'd love to show everyone my tips, my tricks, and then also everything that I've learned along the way. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave some for me. I love to hear ideas. I love to see things. And now, if you've done this too afterwards, please send me pictures on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, I have a link to my Facebook page in my. I can put one. It'll be in the description as well. And then you can always send me some pictures and let me know what you guys made for your teachers or for your kids' teachers. And then we'll see how cute this is. So today's project is it's going to be a cute little basket. All the supplies I bought at Michael's, except for the ribbon. The ribbon I already had on hand, my own stash. I have a humongous ribbon stash. So I knew exactly what ribbons I wanted to use, and the colors I wanted to stay with, mainly reds and yellows. Very classic, easy teacher, school bus themed. So everything else I purchased was at Michael's, so I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that we got today. This is my ideas, at least, of what I wanted to place in there together. So I bought a basket, and most of the stuff at Michael's, I got this yesterday. Everything was 50% off, 60% off, and then I got another additional 20% off on my on the app on my phone, the Michael's app. So I got this tiny, cute little basket. This guy right here was $1.99, regularly $3.99. So I got him for $1.99, and it's just a cute little wicker, I guess, would you call that wicker? Just a regular woven basket. That one's going to be really cute. I got a red and a green apple. I'm probably going to place both of them in there. Maybe looking like one's probably going to hang off of the other. I'm not really sure, but I got one of each of the faux apples. I also got a package of pencils. My idea with the pencils is going to be really cute. I think I'm going to kind of tie some together and then push them down off at an angle. So just add them in as a cute little accent to the actual floral piece. And then I got some flowers. I've got, I think these are, I don't remember the name of them, but they're pretty and they're white. So I got the white flowers. I got some yellow sunflowers. These are mini sunflowers, and then I've got some red daisies here. I got 3 of them. Don't know if I'm going to use all 3. Might use 2, but I just thought the bright red pop was pretty. And then these are called heather, like a faux heather. I got 2 picks of these yellow heathers. I'm going to put those in as an accent on all of those. I also needed some burlap to put in the bottom of the basket. You'll see why, because it's pretty see-through. You're going to need a floral block. I have a massive piece of foam. So I cut this myself, which explains why it's kind of, a little jagged. But that doesn't matter, because basically it will not be seen once we're done. And this is just more or less a time saver, or, a money saver. When you buy them individually, you kind of get up there in price. So this one I cut myself off my own block, but for this particular basket, this is about 4x4. Doesn't need to come all the way up to the top. You could get away with a smaller block itself. And then of course I have some twine. I already had this twine on hand that I'm going to use to tie some of the pencils together. And then the 2 ribbons I picked today, I might not use both. I definitely probably going to use this red checkered plaid one. It's very, very cute, very red school busy. I'm sorry, yellow is a school bus. Very red schoolhouse type feel. This one just was mainly yelling to me that it wanted to be used. I also got a really classic yellow. Both are wired ribbons. I've had these for some time. This one I believe was, it's Kirkland. So I got this at Costco probably last year. I do not believe that they brought their spring ribbon out this year yet. And this one I believe I got from, it's either craftoutlet.com. Yes, I think I got this at craftoutlet.com some time ago, so I doubt that it's even available. This is 1.5 inch ribbon. It's wired 1.5 inch ribbon. This is also 1.5 inch ribbon, but this one's pretty well known. Costco gives the 50-yard rolls of ribbon. Both smaller widths because I don't want the actual arrangement to be too big. We don't want to come in there with some huge thing. I just want it to be a cute little basket. Whether or not your teacher wants to leave it on their desk or take it home with them, that's up to them, but it will be small enough to where it won't take up too much space in their room if they would like to peek and take a look at it every now and then, or use it for the next year, because I know a lot of them pack up and they go home and they may not have the same classrooms the next year. At least that's how things work out here. I also have some greenery I wanted to add to it in case at the end it's just not full enough. I got some little pieces here. I got this bush here, kind of has a little bit of white edging around it. I thought that one was pretty. And then here I've got just your average green. This is called a potato bush. This is a potato plant bush, but if you want to know its actual name of it. But this is just a really bright pop of green that I thought would look awesome around the edges or nestled inside wherever we may want to put in some filler. So I'm going to get started here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put the foam block inside the basket, but the issue I'm going to have here, if you'll see in 1 second once I get this off, is it's see-through. You see these holes? So if I place the foam block in there, which I'll do right now, you can see that block through there, and that's really not pretty at all. Even on the sides, it's not too see-through here on the sides. It's mainly just here at the bottom. So if you're holding up to a light and you're going to look through here, I don't see any light coming through, meaning I don't necessarily have to put burlap or some sort of fabric or sheet moss or anything else like that. You could get faux moss to put in there to fill the holes. So you don't necessarily have to put anything around there, but I'm going to put a piece of burlap here on the bottom just to cover any of that green that's going to peek through. So I had previously cut around here, this is 18 inches, to go around the inside of the basket, but I think I'm probably not going to use this only because I think it might pop up too much, and that's going to add to the height of the piece. So I'm going to leave that off to the side. Now this one is only about a 6-inch square. This is a roll of burlap ribbon I purchased a while ago. Michael's has them, Joann's has them, Hobby Lobby. This is a 6-inch wide burlap ribbon spool, and I cut, I'm sorry, it's not 6 inches. My apologies. Yeah, it is 6 inches. And I cut exactly 6 inches of the 6-inch wide ribbon, so that gives me a perfect square. I'm going to run some glue around that grid pattern on the bottom, and I'm just going to pop this guy down in there. That way when you're looking at the bottom of it, you're seeing the burlap through these little holes and not the floral foam. Now there's 2 kinds of floral foam also. This is a harder, denser foam. I know floral foam is like it's very malleable. It's very soft, and then you get it wet and you push it more. I like to purchase this green craft foam. I call it floral foam. Sorry, I know sometimes that's just, you have words for them. That's not what it really is. This is the green styrofoam, the harder foam. I don't want to be able to see that through the bottom of the holes. So, got my glue gun ready, and I'm just going to run some glue in here on the grid that I have. And it's actually working pretty good here because this basket has some pretty wide, it's got some pretty wide slats in there, so I got a lot of room to work. Now I need to take something other than my fingers, just lightly touch. It's going to pop through because burlap's not exactly a thick fabric. And I got that down there like that. Okay, and now I'm going to take this and just make sure that we're still on par for it to fit correctly in there. Just making sure I'm not seeing anything peeking through there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add glue here to the bottom of my floral foam green styrofoam block. Usually I'm pretty generous with this because this is what's going to anchor it down. We're going to be putting a lot of picks in here, so never be afraid to go glue crazy. In my opinion, that's usually how I go. So I've got that pretty glued up. Just push that right down there on top of the burlap. And again, nothing is an exact science when it comes to cutting all this stuff. A lot of the behind the scenes of making the floral arrangements or making your crafts, a lot of people don't see. So, and then there's a lot of times that you're not exactly sure what happened. So that's why I would love to make videos. I love to watch videos. I'm an avid YouTube craft page watcher. I love watching other people. A lot of ideas you get from other people. This particular idea was spurred on by Julie Samaka from Southern Charm Wreaths. She just did a teacher appreciation gift in a coffee cup, and it was extremely, extremely cute. When she was finished, she used some fairly large sunflower, and it was very, very cute. So I thought, you know, what else could I do? What could I do to change that up and make that another cute idea? I went very schoolhouse with mine. I want it to be not too farmhouse, but usually that tends to be what I end up going for when I'm done. It always ends up being a little farmhouse, so no harm, no foul, in my opinion. So here we go. I got my foam block in. So now we can start adding the apples and the flowers, those different things there. Let me see if I can get... I gotta get those off without getting the actual stem of the apple. There we go. These guys don't have picks in the bottom of them. I got these where all the other faux fruit is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be making it into its own pick. So other than the bow and the fruit, they're going to be my focal point, and then all these flowers will go around them to accent them. What I need to do is I need to get these guys, I need to make them into picks. So what I've done before in other videos, I'm going to do again, is take out chopsticks. These are perfect to use, excuse me, as dowels or anything to make into a pick. Usually when we get the to-go or the takeout, they put 5, 6, 7 in there, even if it's only an order for 1 or 2 people. So these are very, very useful, very, very practical and affordable, obviously, since they're free and they're already in the bag. They come apart. They're clean. They're unused. They come right apart. And now I have 2 perfectly good, strong, these are pretty strong here, dowel type items that I'm going to use as picks. These are it's my little secret there. Usually, you know, because they're kind of thick on one end, you may have to get it started depending on the styrofoam there. I'm going to pick which side of the apple I want to see. This has a little bit of a lighter side here. I'm going to use this one on the front facing. So what I need to do is just going to try to slowly move in there. You don't want to damage it too much, and a lot of times you don't want to go too far and then find yourself with, you know, a hole out the other side of the item you're putting your dowel into. So I got a starter hole right there, and what I'm going to do is, a lot of times if you have an awl or a pick, something that's a little easier to push into, that might work. And then also what I'm going to do right now, since this isn't working, is I'm going to cut the corner off of this at a diagonal and kind of make this sharper. And I'll show you what I'm doing. And now I'm using a pair of wire cutters for that. So here I've taken that edge off and I've made it sharper instead of like the other one. It's no longer dull. I now made it into a sharper one. So that way I won't have too much of a problem poking this through the one side. And I can feel that it's going towards the edge. So what I have to do here is, see, that's kind of at too much of an angle. So I'm going to try to go this way. There must be something else in this apple preventing me from, there we go. That's a little bit better. I can at least then stick this down at a diagonal in there. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here on this one. Just going to make it into a sharper edge pick, and I'm going to take it, and that one slid in very, very easily. Okay, so I don't think this is going to go anywhere, so I'm not going to, well, yeah, no, I'm not going to pull it back out in order to glue it. But if you have one that's a little loose and the items you're using and turning them into picks, it's kind of twirling around a little bit, pull it back out, put some glue in there, some hot glue, and it won't move. But these guys are solid. They're not coming off. Even, I mean, you could probably pick this up by it, especially this red one towards the end here. So what I need to do is figure out placement of these apples. Now I wanted this piece here, so I'll probably put the red one, probably going to put them like something like this in there. So since they're going to be my focal point, I'm definitely going to put them in first. So yeah, I'm just going to cut this bottom part off of here, make that into a point, and I'm just going to place that apple down like that, and I want that one to face this way. So, cutting off the bottom of the chopstick again. It's the handle part, so it's much, much thicker. I'm turning this into its own these into two picks. Now see, I'm really happy with the placement of these two apples. We're going to have ribbon and flowers and all kinds of good stuff going on around here. I also have the option of putting this handle back up. I'm not sure. We'll see how it turns out. I could put the handle back up. I'm not absolutely sure if I know if I really want to do that or not. We'll have to see how this goes. So I think I want this red apple a little bit closer to the foam. I'm going to cut some more of that off. See how far down that is. That's actually much better. Same thing with this guy. I'll cut more of this off here. And that's looking good. I'm going to commit to these two placements here, so I'm going to throw some glue down into these. Nothing wrong with shooting a little glue around this hole. This hole got a little bit bigger while I was making its space for it, moving it a little around. So while that's hardening, I'm just going to hold that a little bit while the glue's hardening. Clear up my workspace a little bit here too. Next we're going to do, I'm not sure if I want to do the bow just yet. It might be I think I might do that, the bow next, and then also the pencils. The pencils need to come across. I'll put the bow on this side. So what we'll do is, I'll do the pencils here. Pencils, I'm going to I got a little package of pencils from, oh geez, you can go to anywhere, Walmart, any of the office supply stores. Especially it'll be good when back to school is starting, which is the opposite of teacher appreciation, but it's just the beginning of the school year. But just get a package of pencils. I got a very small package, I believe I'm only going to probably use about 4 pencils. My idea was I'm just going to group them up together like so. So I have 4 pencils here, just group them together. I might actually place just a tiny bit of glue down the center of all these guys here. So that way they are definitely secure together. So I got a little 4-pack here of pencils. Actually, the glue doesn't look like it's working. Put that down here, and then I'm going to take some twine and wrap it around the pencils here. So I'm leaving enough of a tail. This is what I'm leaving for my tail because I need to tie it. So I'm just going to take the rest of my twine that's still on the spool, wrap it around here like this. Let's do more of a uniform look. Okay, so I'm going to cut this guy here like this. And then I'm going to bring these two together, and I'm just going to tie a normal bow, just like if you were, I'm going to do a square knot first, just like you were tying your shoes. Obviously not the square knot, you don't want a knot in your shoes, right? So I'll make the one loop on this side, pull this one around. Here, cut the excess. So this was my idea for the pencils. I just grouped 4 of them together and then put a little glue in there, wrapped them with some twine, put a bow on them, and then my idea is to place them somehow within here, whether I lay them, I could lay them across on the front. I'm not sure how I want to put that just yet. We'll see how that's going to work out here. This apples on this side look a little better for placement on this side, but that's the back, so I think I'm going to just have to adjust for. Let's put that off. So we finished. Whoops. We finished the pencils here. And let's move on to the bow. I'm definitely going to use this red ribbon here. I don't think I'm going to use the yellow for the accent. I just really like the red and the way the red looks. It's the way it's going with the baskets looking really good to me. I like the way it's kind of just meshing together all the right colors. Lots of primary red and yellow. That's why I put the green apple in there for fun. A lot of people, it's a classic red apple for your teacher. I did one of each. I liked a little bit of green in there, and then if we need more green, that's what I bought some of the other accents back here for. We can always add that in. So here what I'm going to do is, it's got some sticky stuff here. Probably going to cut the bottom of that off anyways. I love to dovetail almost all of my ribbon. I don't ever curl it or use a diagonal. Sometimes, very rarely, but I love to dovetail. I save the dovetailing till the end. So I'm going to take probably I'm going to leave a 10-inch tail just because that's going to probably be more than enough, and then we'll shorten that if we need to. And then I'm just going to make a loop. I'm going to eyeball a loop and then pinch it together as big as I think it needs to be. And I can measure this now. This is actually 12 inch, so it's a 6-inch loop here on each side. 12 inches total, so I got a 12-inch loop here. And then I'm going to pull this back around here. Let's see, 12 inches is there. Now the best part about this ribbon is that it is not one-sided, it's double-sided, same on both sides, so I don't have to worry about twisting or turning any of it from where it's at. Also, I'm not going to be using any wire. I'm going to be putting this in with floral picks. Very easy. You don't have to hold anything, twist it around or anything like that. We're just going to be making loops. Excuse me. We're just going to be making loops, and then we're going to place it all in there with some floral wire. I'm sorry, not floral wire, floral picks. Okay, so let's see. And from here, another 10 inches. That's about right. There. So see, I'm still holding it. I still have it pinched here. This is just a four loops and 2 tails. So what I have going here is, I believe I want to place it here, and then maybe I can put the, maybe I'll put the, I'm still trying to work out placement. This was my first run. I wanted you guys to be with me. We'll see how it goes together. You can leave any of your ideas or comments and tricks and tips in the comment section below. I think maybe I'll put it more under on the side. That way the bow's on both front and back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this floral wire and then put it around the entire piece that I was holding. So now basically I'm sorry, not floral wire, the floral pin. The floral pin has become basically, you could say, your pipe cleaner, your floral wire, whatever you use to secure bows, and then you twist it. We're not going to twist this. We're just going to use this. So as I push it in, that's what's going to happen. We're going to use this as the holding point, the holder. And I'm going to place it right in the center here. So what I'm doing is putting just a big glob of glue down to hold it, and I got to make sure I'm going to get both of the really sharp guys in there. Those are going to go in here. And make sure I get them in the middle of the glue, and then push it down. And basically that has become the commitment spot. That is where it will be. That's where it's going. There is not going to be any way to move it now, short of pulling it out. That's, and that's going to take a big chunk of your, it'll take a big chunk of your floral foam, the foam, the green styrofoam with it, because of the hot glue. It's a really good secure. It makes a really good bond. It bonds very well, and that's why I usually use a lot of hot glue with this particular green styrofoam. It's basically secure. It won't fall apart. A lot of times you don't have to worry if something is going to fall apart or not. It won't if you got the right combination of glue. Okay, so what I want to do here is my other main larger flowers. I'm going to put these in first. And what we'll do here is, I know that I don't need the whole length of this stem. So I'm just going to cut them off a little bit too long at first. So that way I know exactly how far I need them. Is basically already too long. Because remember, you don't cut once, or they always say measure twice, cut once. Just because if you leave them too long, that's okay. But if you leave them too short, you're not going to be able to add that back in. And I've done that before. It's not earth-shattering, but you then have to try to work your way through something just a little bit extra. Now these guys I'm going to separate from each other. They come on the bush together, 2 of them. So I just pulled that one off by itself. And I got this here. Now these leaves, I always save all of the leaves. I don't ever throw those out. They're really good for hiding the behind the scenes and the some of the little, I guess you could say mechanics. Julie Samaka says that a lot on her videos. You want to hide all of the not so pleasant things. That basically how you got there. I always say behind the scenes, because a lot of times you don't really know what's really going in there until you take a look and you peek in there. Well, it's always good to just cover them up a little bit so you don't see everything that's going on, and you don't exactly, you won't lose. I wouldn't say the imagination, but it's almost like you could say when you go to a theater, there's a reason why there's a curtain, and you don't just see what they're doing back behind everything. There's a curtain, and nobody knows what's really going on behind the curtain because you got set changes and all that stuff. So that's my own little, you could say my own little analogy. Okay, so here I'm just going to place a few of these around. The daisies, I want to spread them out. I have 3 of them exactly, these red daisies. I'll bend this one forward a little bit here. Got a pair of pliers I'm going to use. Okay. And then this guy here. Too much. Bend it too much, you can always bend it right back, so that shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to put this one down at an angle on the side. And so far that's just the placement I have here on those 3. So you got a lot of good amount of filler here. And since, you know, the styrofoam here is pretty much forgiving, you've got a solid piece of styrofoam. If you don't like the placement that you've worked out with everything so far, then just pull it apart and start anew. It's not something that you would end up having to you know, rip everything out. But you know, if you don't like the placement of something, that's why it's very forgiving. I'm gonna put a little bit of height in there, so I like this little guy right up here like this. Another one here, and I'll put this one right up front. Just like that. So far I'm pretty much liking all of all my pieces. I'm going to commit to where I've placed them. So right now, next step is to just pull them all out one by one. Yeah, you're not really forgetting your placement, and glue them in. Oh, you know what? But first, I need to find the placement for my pencils. I happen to use this bow side here. This might be the tricky part here with the pencils. Yeah, I'm gonna need to kind of prop them up on that side, and I'm gonna need to really glue them in down here. So what I'm gonna do is I like them here. So let's glue in these flowers here. So I'm just going to back them out a little bit and then fill the holes with some glue. See, that one was in really good, so I don't even know if I even needed that. This one's on the side, so I'm just going to put the glue at the end of the stem here. And then when I take it, it's just going to pop itself right into there where it was. Okay. This guy first. It's a little bit easier to get to it. Okay, so these are our largest focal flowers. So this is what we have so far. I've got all the large flowers in that I need to use. So my two different types. I got 3 daisies and 2 zinnias. I believe these are zinnias. So there's those. The bow's still looking good. Now this is where you can take your small assessment and see where all your spaces and your holes are, because that's where we're going to be filling in all of the other goodies. But remember, I wanted to place my pencils in next just because I don't want to get caught without a place for them. So I believe that was going to be this side. Yes, it was. Okay. So what I need to do is I need to make an indentation here in the foam. And then what I have to do here is I'm going to have to push my bow off to the side, which is okay because that's why we bought wired ribbon. And I'm going to use one of these empty pieces here that I put off of a stem. And I'm just going to make this little indentation I made with the ends of the pencils. I'm going to make it a little bit deeper. It has a bigger spot on it here. That way I can place the pencils in there just like that. And I'm going to place a little glue on the back of this. I'll show you here. I'm going to be securing it down to the red apple. The red apple has some placement that I like. Okay, so there's that. Get that drip off real quick, and then I'm just going to tap it forward a little bit. Put some glue on the back of there. Hold that to the apple. So now I have my pencils in there. Just a little accent that makes it look really, really cute. Adds to the whole teacher theme, teacher vibe we got going on for here. Okay, so next I want to place in a few yellow sunflowers here. So these we're just going to clip them off. I'm just going to do 3. Well, these are smaller ones for accents. I'm going to clip off 5 here. We'll see how far those go. See, we want to get the stems. I'm pushing the stem up. That was closer to the bottom of it, so I just push those stems up higher. Oh, that's good. Okay, so let's go. Just add these guys in here. These are more filler as well, so I can use them, to cover up some of the holes and spaces I don't want really showing, anything peeking through. So I'm just placing these into some spots, into some places. So let's put the smaller ones right here. And we're going to move the bow around a little bit, place these guys in here too like that, and the bow Always just readjust the bow. It's always a work in process, a work in progress. It's never a finished product. The bow is always adjustable, movable, malleable. Can't get that up, so I'm just going to use the flowers on that one. So far there. So I've added in my yellow flowers. Those are just kind of popped in for more filler. This is basically becoming the front. I got the 2 apples and my pencils up front here. Looking cute, looking cute, looking good. Now I bought these heather items, but I'm not sure if I want to place them in there now. I mean, it wouldn't be bad, I don't believe. I do think I do need some green in here. I place some green here and there, but I'm not sure if I even have the room for that. This is getting pretty full, and I don't want it to look, you know, extremely, I don't want it to look, you know, stuffed, overdone. That's not what I was going for with this particular project. So let me just take a couple little accent pieces here and push them down in and see what I come up with. See what if I like this here with the green. Green does add a little bit more to it that I like that didn't have before. On these bushes, these greenery bushes, there's always a greenery aisle. This is, again, these were all the floral aspects in the basket. It was all purchased at Michael's. So there is a greenery aisle with all kinds of different options. This is where you would get ferns and, you know, ivy, different colored ivy, those types of things. That's always in that aisle at Michael's. Joann's has them, Hobby Lobby has them. They always have big greenery aisles that I always tend to love spending a lot of time in. That one's not a little strong. Some of these aren't strong enough to put in on their own. Some of them are. You have a stronger wire in the bottom. There is a steel pick machine that I don't have. I've seen on a few Facebook pages and YouTube channels that looks very awesome. Basically turns anything you want into a metal pick, and then it will go into anything, whether it's the floral foam, regular foam. It'll go through moss, it'll go through thicker things that aren't usually so easy to pop things through. That is definitely on my wish list, so that will be a definite future purchase for me. Because a lot of times it means I would have to take time out and I'd have to stop what I'm doing and then, you know, hold you guys up while I'm putting in, making it a floral wire onto another piece of a stronger wire, and then that holds more things up, and then you guys would have to sit through that too, and you know, So I'm just picking off the stronger pieces. That's basically what I do. So that way, later I can turn those other items into picks, and then I don't have to so much as when I have more time, I can just place those items in there like that, and we're not rushed for time, and I'm not worried about holding any of you guys up. So I'm pretty sure that I'm good with my placement here. So I finished putting in the green parts of the bushes around the outside edges. I just kind of push this around on the sides and the bottoms. Nothing that's going to cause any problems, or nothing that you have to dig down deep into the center of your floral piece here. I could put one right here. So I see one more hole. Now remember, I'd said before, these are the places. Now if you see a hole, that's your opportunity to stop and grab something and fill that hole, whether it's with a small sunflower, like we have these smaller yellow sunflowers, or here I'm putting more greenery behind this. just behind the actual red daisy here, this red daisy. And then there's these white or the yellow sunflowers here off to the side. So then that red daisy's kind of like that, little nestled within there. And I think I'm pretty much done. I don't know if I don't really want to add stuff. Normally I would put some leaves into the bow here, but I've already placed one of my greenery picks inside the bow. So I've got a double loop going there. Just all I need to do now is just dovetail here my ribbon ends. This way, get that pushed this way. I like to put a little bit of a wrinkle in there. The bow out that way. So here are my number 2 pencils peeking out there in the top, and then the basket itself. Use the handle side. It's how it worked out. I had already glued in the apples, and then that's just the side ended up working out better for me. I've got mainly different flowers. I got some greenery pressed in on the sides. And then this would be the back of the piece here. Very full, very pretty, very cute and simple. So with just a few supplies, not much. I didn't use these particular guys at all. And then I only used one of the greenery bushes I bought. So again, if you just have an idea and you're thinking something may or may not work, don't be afraid to buy it and try it. And worst case scenario, if you don't use it, you can always return it. So now I've got just a couple things that I could return, but I love flowers and greenery, so I'm going to keep them for my own collection here. And then I guarantee you I'll be able to repurpose them and use them in another project. That's never going to be a problem for me. But if you just wanted to make a small arrangement, something cute for the teacher that's not, you know, your average, it's just a little different and it's handmade. And I know a lot of people love to get the handmade. It means you went that little bit of an extra mile. It did not take long at all. And this is what you have. Also, you don't have to use a basket. There were many other cute items there. I saw a flower pot. You can just get a smaller red flower pot and use pencils in that. There were lots of different items. This is still a very small arrangement. It's very cute. I can actually tell you how tall it is real quick. This is a little bit, that's 13 inches high. So that's not large at all. And then if I go from petal to the end of the loop here, we're looking at 10.5, maybe 11 inches wide. So this is still about a foot going, you know, width, and then just a baker's dozen up top, 13 inches tall. So this is a very small, very cute little appreciation gift to say, hey, Teach, thanks for being so awesome. I, as the kid, you've done a great job with me, or me as the parent, you've done wonders for my child. I appreciate what you've done. Here's just something to remember us by. Hope to see you again in the future. Those types of things. So that would be basically all I have for this particular arrangement today. It was very fun. It was very cute, and I'm actually very happy that, you know, it turned out okay. So if you guys like it, let me know in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any other ideas or tips and tricks. Again, I love to hear those. I love learning from each other. It's extremely, it's very valuable in the crafting world for us to all just kind of blend together and learn from each other. A lot of the best tips you learn are from other crafters. Everyone starts out from somewhere, and it's just really fun to learn things from people that you didn't know. So you learn something new every day. So if you see anything that I've done and you want to know more, or if you have any other suggestions or tips that you could give me, I would greatly appreciate those in the comments too. Also, whatever you make, if you make one for your teachers or for your child's teacher, send me a picture on Facebook. I would love to see what you guys made. I'd love to see other ideas, see how the creativity wheels turn in others' heads. And then it also gives us more ideas and things to share with each other. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you again soon. I've got more videos I want to make. I've got more ideas I'm going to go for. And until next time, thanks for coming. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.